Good afternoon. I am Debbie McKeever, founder and owner of Strong and Healthy Temple, a virtual holistic health and wellness coaching practice servicing clients worldwide, where we focus on bringing balance to mind, body, and soul. It is a lovely day here today, and I'm continuing on in my topic on ways that you can self-sabotage. And this is going to be the next to last topic that I am going to discuss in this series. And this one is going to be overthinking. And overthinking can drive you absolutely insane. And I'm speaking from a point of view of a person who, at one point, I was an avid overthinker. It's believed that we process about 6,000 thoughts per day, the average person. So, being an overthinker, I don't know, maybe I was processing, 3 to 5 times that many. I'm not sure, but I was always overthinking everything and just always feeling like I thought, just too much. It was to the point that when I would go to bed at night, I would literally have to force my brain to shut down just to go to sleep. But it's one of those things where, like I said, it'll drive you insane, and it'll just cause you to see things that aren't there and create stories and scenarios that don't really exist, and then you'll end up being worried and anxious and agitated for just no reason at all, because you're overthinking something. And I'll use a couple of examples here. I had a friend one time that was she needed a job at the time, and she had interviewed, and the individual that interviewed her told her that she would be back with her fairly soon. And I think it had been a week or maybe even less. I think it only been like maybe 4 or 5 days, but she was really anxious because she really needed the job. And she says, she told me that it wouldn't be that long, and she started just creating all these scenarios in her mind about how bad the interview was and why she probably didn't get picked or what have you. And she asked me if she thought it would be a big deal if she followed up, if it would look too pushy. So anyway, she ended up, long story short, she ended up following up, only to find out that not only were there a lot of applicants, but the individual that interviewed her had to take a last minute trip unexpectedly, and that's why she hadn't gotten back to her. And it hadn't been a long time anyway, but the point is because she was overthinking it, she was driving herself insane for no reason. And that's what overthinking does. I mean, we just start creating all these stories in our mind, and creating all these scenarios that aren't even real. And so we're worrying for no reason, and worry doesn't change anything anyway. And I'll use another example on personal experience with my significant other. And the carrier, and I didn't know it at the time, but the carrier that he was using, this was I think last spring, he was using Sprint and T-Mobile, and I think this was before they officially merged. I think they were working on the merger at that time. Sprint, T-Mobile, and Metro PCS, I think, were working on merging. And anyway, I think their towers were down, and he wasn't responding to me, text, returning my call, nothing. And of course, I had already created all these scenarios in my mind. I was becoming like, agitated and angry, and how where the mind goes places that it shouldn't go. And I ended up looking on social media, and that's how I found out. I actually saw some people that were talking about it. And mind you, he didn't even realize that his service was down, because he's a business owner as well. He owns his own businesses, and he wasn't receiving any calls or text or anything like that. So once I finally did have an opportunity to talk to him, so he was missing everything. And here I was about to I had already rehearsed all these scenes where I was going to tell him off and blah 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 blah. You know how we do, ladies. But anyway, just an example of how overthinking can just, take you completely down the wrong path. So it's better, just not to assume. My one of my sisters has this saying, that when you assume, you make an ass out of you and me, and that's really what it is. So it's better not to assume and to have facts, because really all overthinking is making bad assumptions. So anyway, keeping this brief as always. I'm gonna enjoy the remainder of this beautiful day. Thank you for sticking with me throughout this series. Like I said, there's one more video that I'm gonna make in this series. If you do like this video, give it a thumbs up. I would love for you to subscribe, hit the bell notifications, hit the bell icon if you would like to receive notifications, share the video. I would greatly appreciate it. Again, thank you for joining me, and have a lovely day.